Hello and welcome to the New World Order of Government Control. Now, actually, this is about a puff eliminator on a Mack truck. The puff eliminator, and my shirt is on inside out. What the hell? Marianne and Wanda were the best of friends. I can't put my shirt on. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so there you go. A little candid fun. I'll put my hat back on so you don't see the shine. Anyway, so yeah, the puff eliminator on a Mack truck is to do just what it says. I drank my coffee, and I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. So, what it does is when you push your foot on the pedal, it actually limits the fuel supply to the engine so that it slowly builds to the 275 horsepower instead of bam all at once and you get all that smoke. So I have removed that. I haven't removed it. I actually blocked it off. And I am going to put a turn valve on there like Mickey told me to do, because that's just an awesome thing. So if I'm in Philadelphia or whatever, I just turn the puff eliminator on and, you know, it'll work. It won't be all puffy and smoky, or, you know, when I'm going down the highway, it just will work. So anyways, enjoy the rest of this video, and don't forget the comments at the end, because you're going to enjoy these. So the last time I ran this, I actually put a puff eliminator. I did away with the puff eliminator. So this truck is only supposed to be 275 horsepower, which it is. It's 275 horsepower. So with the puff eliminator on it, I get all 275 horsepower right when I want it. So that's a good thing. And or when I need it, which is right at the start, but it's going to smoke. So I was talking with Mickey D'Elia, which should be his name, but Mickey's Max, and he told me, he says, well, he says, if you get a smoke test, even though I am exempt from a smoke test, if you get a smoke test, he says, just run that line up here to the dash and put a turn valve on it. He said, so that if they do a smoke test, you open it up so that the puff eliminator works, and then after you're done with the smoke test, then you do away with the you close the valve back off, and then it won't work. The puff eliminator won't work anymore, and then you have all your horsepower. So he's gonna have a guy contact. I had him call a guy today to see if we can turn this thing up to 350 horsepower without pulling the injector pump, and that's what we're gonna do. So she does run. Let's see what kind of smoke we get. I gotta put fuel in it. See what I tell you, that thing just... yeah, that's what you want to see. And the other thing is, I'm gonna put the deck plate back onto it. So let me get some fuel in here, and we'll get on with it. I have no electric. We'll get on with it. That we've got, check the air in the tires.
I heard it spinning.
Was it? Yeah, centrifuge is spinning. Okay, so we just put Schaefer's 1540 in it. Syngard. Is that Syngard or Syn? Yeah, Syngard, right?
Yeah, Syngard.
All right, synthetic Syngard. I mean, I've heard for years if the engine's old, don't put synthetic in it. It'll ruin the engine, which is a total myth. I know that a lot of people will say that. I do know I put AMSOIL in this one time, and when I put the AMSOIL in, it started to burn oil because the oil was too thin. But that was a 1540 as well. But I don't know. I guess you just got to pull the dipstick every once in a while, keep up on that. Tim and Cody did put new batteries and battery boxes in there, and what we had them do was put grease underneath the batteries before you clamped them down. That's clamped in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so put the grease underneath there so that the battery boxes don't rot away. It's getting harder and harder to get parts for our model Macks. I was told just yesterday that if it's older than 1990, that Mack isn't going to support it anymore. So this is a 1988. It's an 89 model, but it was bought in 88, and on the heavy-duty chassis they ran it as a 88, even though it claims it's an 89. But on the title it says 88. So put 2 new battery boxes in, 4 new batteries. We just changed the oil in it. I'm going to go pull. What did I just throw that? I did just check that, didn't I?
Yep.
I'm going to check the oil on it. It's going to get a little bath tonight because we're going to pull it out and shut these doors. It is getting cold. It almost feels like it's going to snow, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So these engines, this is an E6 275. Okay, so an E6 275. Still a little, I actually got a little on the over full side. Well, we'll find out if it burns oil. So, yeah, no, it shouldn't. I hear air leaking a little bit.
That's coming from the cab.
Yeah, I got it. Every once in a while you get a little cab air leak, but anyway, yeah, so that's that. I'm going to take it for a test drive. Tim can hop in with me and film a test drive.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody wants to see what the lack of a puff eliminator does. And I was like, oh my God, you took the puff eliminator off. What you gonna do? It's gonna smoke like a bitch. That's what it's gonna do. So pop those glass in there. The problem with Tim is he's big. Our models are small.
Right? I used to sleep on the floor in this thing.
Right. Fire's right off, I mean. Okay, so everything works. I got everything working. I got air. Alright, so this is a 2-button deal. I haven't touched the slack adjusters yet. They are not automatic, and I'm going to put the deck plate on the back of this thing yet before it gets on the road. Timothy and Cody are going for CDL licenses tomorrow. I'm going to send them to truck driving school so that they don't learn any bad habits from me. Because I have lots of bad habits, right, Tim?
Yes.
No, I don't. This is a 6-speed. A 5-speed with a low first. So it's the Max Torque 2060 6-speed transmission. Black smoke. Did you see it? Out that window. That's what it's gonna be. You're gonna make everybody drunk dizzy, Tim. You're gonna have the camera down.
Oh, quiet.
Smoke, baby?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's only 40 miles an hour.
Down the road.
Yeah, no, it's a good old truck. This was my first truck. Anybody that's been here for any length of time knows that I had it redone in about 2010, 2011 maybe. I think it was 2011.
Oh, look.
Goodbye, Carl's still there. Goodbye, Carl. Mary Ann and Rhonda were the best of friends. All clear. They don't have anything on them.
Do you have to use the clutch on this one or no?
No, just to get started. This one's harder to float than a 13-speed or even what Carl's was.
I mean, his I got pretty good at.
Yeah, well, that's a 10-speed. I never liked the 10-speed transmission. I'd rather have a 9-speed Road Ranger or a 13-speed. I never cared for that 10-speed. What's in the other Mack? But that's an auto shift. Well, she warms up, she don't smoke away as much. Smokes a lot at first. You hear that turbo kick in.
Jesus Christ, how fast? That's 50.
55.
Oh, Jesus. Grandpa's like, what the hell?
All the way down the end of the road. We're just playing right now. The trouble with this truck in the wintertime, it is horrible. It is horrible. Oh, I forgot that thing's stuck on the knot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It doesn't have a Jake. They took the Jake brake out. I hate the schmegma all over the steering wheel. It's like all sticky. Wow. Years of having hands on it.
I mean, can you be able to put the Jake brake in it?
You can, but it's not worth it. It would be a dynatard. You'd have to put a dynatard in, and I don't know if Jacobson brakes would go on this. I don't know if they make it, if they made it anymore. I think it's going to be what they call a dynatard. I don't know. The E7, I know you can get Jake. I think what the hell? I don't think mine is a Jake in the Vision. It's not a Jake. It's a dynatard, or they're a new version of it. Mack doesn't have a good Jake brake. If they put an actual Jake on a Mack, it'll stall it. It'll stall it. I mean, they're brakes, man. It's like, oops. Okay. We got anything?
Nope.
So I put air in the tires. All the tires. I got 100 in the front and 110 in the rear.
Oh, there's that other hornet's nest.
Yeah, I told you the hornet's nest was there. Let's see what the smoke does now. Oh yeah. It's running now.
Where's that turbo? ball valve.
Yeah, it's the ball valve. Turn it on and off. Turn it on, Bill. Oh, hell yeah, that's a good running power. I mean, it's only 275. If I turn it up to 350 like I want to do,
Yeah.
it'll be alright. We should probably rotate those front tires. Remy Rude says, good to see you enjoying work and social life. Keep up the good work and keep the videos coming. Well, I'm actually enjoying this new style of video that I'm doing. It just is just so much more fun. Benny B 41. That Mack is gorgeous. What transmission does it have in it? It has a 2060 max torque, which is a 5-speed with a low first, making it a 6-speed transmission. Very durable. Cluck Fabrication. How the FU $K have you not seen Blazing Saddles? I don't know, because I've seen clips of it now. People have sent them to me, and I'm like, good God, this is my kind of movie. I just don't understand why I haven't seen it, but I'm going to watch it now. BH, so if you sell the Mack R model, what make model would you replace it with? I would buy a brand new Mack truck. Brand new, day cab, just like the R model, with the M shift, 13-speed auto shift. They are really a brilliant design. I know that Volvo owns Mack, and Volvo is now owned by a Chinese company, but anybody that runs those new M shifters, they're like, wow, this is awesome. I think it's an Eaton Fuller, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, anybody that runs those Macks, they love them. Just love them to death. Mark Schroeder. This is my first negative comment. Dump that mail order bride for a farm girl. Hey. And then the remainder I just won't say. My wife is more of a farm girl than any girl I have ever met in my life. And to be quite honest with you, she's more of a farm girl than, I'd hate to say it, most of the women I see here on YouTube. She's not afraid to dig in and do what is necessary to do. She runs tractors, balers, and she's even mowed hay. So what else can you ask? Keeps the food coming, keeps the baby taken care of, and the house and everything. She's amazing. So I think you need to rethink your comments. Hudson Mill. Mike Coy. Tell Teresa that she's beautiful. She is a great wife and mother. I could not agree more. I could not agree more. It has been a joy watching her with our son. It is way different experience than I had with my first wife. Blanket comment response to everyone that wants that Fordson tractor. I want you to email me at onelonlyfarmer@yahoo.com and put the maximum price you're willing to pay for the tractor in there. And the guy that hits the highest number and is willing to come gets the tractor. So whatever your number that you're willing to pay for the thing, just have at it. Put it in there. I will respond to each and every one of you. JC Lawn 51. You mean Trucker Carl had a trucker's mouth, LOL? No, actually, Trucker Carl's mouth was quite clean. The problem with Carl is that he would not keep his nose out of things that he shouldn't have been into, and he did not know when to shut his mouth. FCH, hey King, does that Mack have one of the first E7 engines, or does it have an E6? It is an E6.
Walker Vandencourt responded. He says, should be an E6. I was going to dig into one of my tune-up books to see which parts are different in the 275 versus a 350. Wes may need to change a few things for the best result if he's going to have the fuel screw adjusted. Well, I can tell you that the E6 that is in my truck, there is no difference between a 250 horsepower E6 and a 350 horsepower E6. Turbo, injector pump, it's all the same. I may do an upgrade on the turbocharger right now because that turbocharger, I believe, is somewhere around 20 years old. I haven't. Brent Anderson, I never knew they had a yellow lid. I think you mean like the 8200 or 8300. The first 750 no-till drills that came out did have a yellow lid. That was in like 87 or so. Mine is a 91 or a 92. I bought that in 2001 or 2002. It was about 10 years old when I bought it. I rebuilt it, and it's worn out again, but it is there. Mr. Heavy Chevy, one stack Mack with a window in the back. Spent many an hour in one of those. Yeah, me too. Actually, Mickey just had a bunk. He says, oh man, I had a bunk. I should have told you about it. And then it would have been a one stack Mack with a shack in the back. Okay, Aaron Jervempa. When you start working on the corn planter, are you going to go aftermarket parts or John Deere parts? Well, we have here in the United States, I don't know if you're in the United States or not, but we have the Shoup's catalog, which is very competitive on the parts quality as John Deere is. I've used those for years, never really had a problem. And John Deere has actually been forced to lower their prices on parts for the 7000 series because of Shoup's catalog and other aftermarket companies. So I'll probably continue to use Shoup's. I may do some price comparing. I did buy John Deere parts from John Deere for that planter last year. And that's the end of this video because tomorrow we start on the corn planter.